Here's an idea. Just edit this movie into the middle of Dunkirk, and then it can win all the awards.
You've wanted this your entire adult life?
No, since the nursery. What do the public want me?
It's your own party to whom you'll have to prove yourself.
I'm getting the job only because the ship is sinking. It's not a gift, it's revenge.
Let them see your true qualities, your courage.
My poor judgment.
Your lack of vanity.
Yeah, my iron will.
Your sense of humour.
Ho, ho, ho.
Now go.
Go?
Be
what?
yourself.
Darkest Hour stars Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill at a very crucial moment in England's history as they're looking for leadership amongst Hitler invading France and looking towards England next and them trying to figure out what they're going to do. Crucial moment in the history of the world, but is it crucial viewing for you over this holiday movie season? Well, let's take a look with 5 things you might want to know about Darkest Hour. I think this movie's amazing. I loved it, and you're going to hear a lot about this first point, so let's start there. Gary Oldman is incredible in this. He became Winston Churchill. He will win all of the acting awards. It is one of those kind of performances that people will be talking about for years to come. It's fascinating, it's exciting, it's compelling, and it's convincing. It just feels authentic. We knew Oldman was a great actor. We've seen him do amazing stuff before, but to see him embody a character like this is pretty much transcendent. But it's not just his performance that makes this work, and I spent time trying to get this name right. Kazuhiro Tsuji, I think is his name. He does the makeup here. The prosthetics and makeup on this Winston Churchill character is the best I've ever seen. I don't even think I need to qualify that. It is the best practical makeup effect I think I've ever seen on screen. To transform somebody who I know what he looks like, I know what Gary Oldman looks like, into this replica of Winston Churchill, and to make it that believable in the way it works in concert with his performance, it is absolutely stunning and a sight to behold, and I wanted to make sure and give credit where it was due. So besides that performance, there are other reasons this movie works. One of them, I think, has to do with capturing that moment in England's time, in the time of Great Britain, and what they must have been going through during these moments of World War II. I think it's hard to put yourself in that place. You've got this madman just blazing over these countries, taking over their armies and their equipment and their planes and building and amassing this military arsenal. And to be this little island off the coast of what they're already capturing, knowing he's coming for you next. This movie does such a great job at putting you in that moment where what the people thought is important, what the government is thinking is important, the differing ideas on how that should be approached, which is kind of the central theme of the movie. All of that is so important and so compelling that the movie itself has such a solid foundation to work from that I'm not surprised at how much I felt the emotion of it and endured what they must have been going through. Which leads to the other thing I loved about this movie. So many goosebumps. There were just these moments where you felt the energy of taking a stand and the theme of what it must mean to understand that you may even lose, but that it's the right thing to stand up against it. Man, that's powerful stuff. And there's a moment towards the end that some may feel is overly schmaltzy, but it worked completely for me on a subway train with the people of England and what they had to say to Churchill. It's powerful. It works, and it's one of those cinema moments where you immediately know, oh yeah, I love this movie, and I'm going to be coming back to this movie. If I had to take one thing away from this film, and I think I do, it is the fact that Oldman's performance is really the only one that matters. Now, I'm not saying the other performances aren't good, but especially the women around him, they aren't given a lot to do. And that goes for the other men as well, I guess, but I feel specifically about the wife character, and there's a stenographer character here who both seem like they want to be important to the movie, but just aren't given enough to do and enough to speak into the movie that it made an impact. And I really wish they could have found a way to involve these other characters in a more cohesive way into the themes, because it just feels at the end of the day that it's all about Churchill. And really, overall, for this movie to be all about Churchill is kind of okay because it's such a phenomenal performance. I loved everything about it. I gave it a solid A-. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the best ever challenge here in a bit. Before we do, though, connect further. Hit me up on Twitter, Aaron Dicer, Aarondicer. We can connect there. We can also connect through the podcast, SiftPop, SiftPop. You can search for it in whatever podcast player you use. Have a great time doing that every week. And let's hang out on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, all that kind of fun stuff here. And for those who support this channel through Patreon, thank you so much. Some pretty fun perks there that you might want to check out. It's patreon.com/yourmoviefriend. Loving that community there. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your financial support of what goes on here. It's kind of mind-blowing that you'd give a few bucks to me every week to do this thing. I appreciate it. All right, on to the best ever challenge, where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. Let's just go with best Gary Oldman movie ever. What is the best Oldman movie of all time, according to you? According to me, I'll give you a hint. Mine is the one where the title of this movie I'm reviewing right now actually feels like it could have been in that series of movies. It would fit perfectly in there, right in the middle. Take a guess at mine in the comments. First person to get it right does get a point. As always, here's a few extra seconds to hit subscribe. Just click my face.